Welcome. Everyone's having a great night tonight. I am actually going live from YouTube tonight as opposed to using my StreamYard link, so it's a little bit different. So if you can hear me okay, put hey in the chat. Let me know that you're there. But welcome tonight. We're talking about the importance of not waiting when you're trying to build your HR career. So if you're tuning in live, let me know where you're coming in from, where you're tuning in from, and then just let me know that you are here. But my name is Bryttani Graddick. I am CEO and founder of Townsend Teams Consulting, where I work primarily with HR Department of One professionals to help you to not only grow your career, but to organize your day. So I've kind of streamlined what I do. And so I really help you to go from being in a chaotic environment to being in control. So if you were to wonder, okay, so Bryttani, what do you do? I help you to streamline your day, to plan your day, to plan your year so that you can grow your career. So that's what I'm here to talk about. And in short, really what I'm trying to do is help you to avoid chaos so that you can be more proactive and more strategic in your day-to-day work. So we'll talk about that. So today we're talking about, like I said before, about the importance of not waiting when you're building your HR career. And I feel like this is important in any form of our life. It could be our careers, it could be our relationships, it could be our life in general. So when we have things that are going on in our lives and we want things to be different, sometimes we get comfortable and we get in a place where we just want to wait it out, see what happens. But I'm here to submit to you that's the wrong approach. Let's try to do something different. So I was talking with someone about their career. I guess what they felt was a job, but they were in a career and they were really frustrated about their career. And she was talking about the fact that she wasn't fulfilled. And she was saying that she felt like she was at the cap of what she could do. She felt that, there were so many reasons why she wasn't where she thought that she could be. And that made me think about me. It made me think about you too. So I think we've all kind of been there where you feel like you're good at your job, but you feel like you're capable of doing so much more. And so, one thing about me, so if you know me, you can't tell me those kind of things and not expect me to try to give an answer. So, she didn't ask for this. And so, that's probably my fault. But I wanted to submit to her, okay, so these are some things maybe you should do differently. So I was telling her, well, my advice would be to prepare for that next opportunity. You never know when that next role is going to come open. You never know that next opportunity is going to come across your desk. So just be prepared for that position. Do what you need to do to get ready now. Don't wait until the position is open to then start preparing yourself. Prepare for it now. And I feel like at that time, it made me think about a few weeks ago. I think I sent an email to my email list, and I was telling them that it's important to not it's important to not wait. And we can't expect things to change overnight. Things happen more gradually. So think about it this way. In whatever role you're in right now, whatever role you're in today, if your position title changed tomorrow with a significant pay increase, all the bells and whistles, a new level of responsibility, a new level of leadership, be completely honest with yourself. Would you be ready for that? Would you want that and would you be ready for that are two completely different things. And so I didn't go down this path with her because she wasn't ready to hear it. But I think it's important for all of us to think about this. When we're talking about growing our careers and doing things to get further in our careers, we can't wait for the title to change. We can't wait for, the team to respect us. We can't wait for, us to feel like it even. We've got to make incremental changes over time. And so my advice to her in this position was, listen, get ready for that next opportunity. And when I told her that, she met me with every excuse under the sun. She was talking about the fact, well, this person did this and that, and, I'm this age, and, they don't like me, and I was previously a manager, and all these things. She was giving me every excuse as to why she should not prepare for her next opportunity today. And so I believe that, to me, whenever I'm talking to somebody about anything, I try to think, so how does it apply to me? How does it apply to me? How does it apply to people that I work with? How does it apply to people that I serve? And so in that vein, I want to submit to you, when you're being tasked with someone trying to give you useful advice, try your best to be more reflective, more self-reflective. Don't shoot them down. Don't dismiss their experiences. She even told me, she's like, well, you've been able to move up because you have your degree and you've got your certification. but also I prepared myself for the levels that I've been able to accomplish. So again, my point here that I want to make is don't wait. Don't assume that opportunity is going to come your way just because you've been on your job for a certain amount of time, or because you're one of the oldest on your job or the youngest on your job, you have more education, more this, more that. I feel like sometimes we convince ourselves that where we are is somebody else's fault, that where we are is that we're being held back for one reason or another. And the most reflective people that I know are go-getters, and go-getters don't accept defeat. Go-getters don't accept the fact that, well, this is just the way that it is. No, go-getters go and get it. Go-getters are action takers. Go-getters take advantage of the opportunities in front of them. So sometimes we want to make sure that we don't just wait for things to happen because we feel that they should happen. Anything can happen, but it feels better to us when we make things happen. In her case, she felt that she had done all that she could do. So let's bring it back to us. If you're in a position where you know you want to move forward, you're in a position where you know you want to accomplish new and greater things, ask yourself, be honest with yourself, and no one has to know your answer but you. Have you really done everything that you could do? Have you really done everything that you could just really prepare yourself for the next opportunity? So I show up in this way on this YouTube channel, in my business, not because I have to. And because if I'm completely honest, I would much rather spend time with my family. We've got 3 kids. I'm married. We like to go on vacations and things of that nature. But I'm showing up in this way because it literally lights me up to be able to help people to fulfill their purpose. The work that you do as an HR professional is so impactful, but I also know how it feels. You feel burdened down sometimes. You could be right in the middle of, your own life issue, your own life crisis. And as an HR department of one, someone walks over to you and just unloads on you. And I know how that feels because I've been there. And so the reason why I have this channel is because I wish that what I'm creating here existed when I started. I wish that there was someone that was open to being able to be a sounding board for me, someone that was able to just be a listening ear to me, to be able to help me to grow where I was. I eventually figured it out, but I feel like I did it the hard way. The way that I did it, I wouldn't necessarily advise everyone to do it the exact way that I did it, and that's why I talk more about my framework, where I've created a system, I've organized a system that I actually work through, and in my hindsight, I can see what I did to get where I am. And so, if you want the details of my masterclass, drop a comment down below, and I'll drop that link for you. But I think it's really important to understand that when you make it past a certain point of your life, or when you accomplish something great, sometimes that things that you accomplish is not just for you. Sometimes you accomplish things so that you can help those that are coming behind you. And so that's what I'm doing here on this channel. That's what I'm doing here in this business, because I really want to create for others, like I said before, what I did not have. And also, I don't want the nameless, faceless social media posts that you have to create in these Facebook groups and LinkedIn posts. I don't want that to be your only sense of community when it comes to thriving as an HR department of one. Again, I understand the confidentiality aspect. I understand there's certain things that you focus on that you don't want to share too much. I get that completely. But I also know that there's value in hearing from someone who's been there. There's value from hearing from someone who has established their own systems, their own tools, their own templates, their own resources to thrive where they are. So don't reinvent the wheel if you don't have to. So when you tune into live streams like this, when you watch my videos, when you tune into my community, where you get the guide, you get the planner, you book your discovery calls, you get a chance to pick my brain in a way that I wish I had when I was growing up, when I was coming up. So eventually there is a tipping point in your career. So when you first start out in your career, you're just trying to figure things out. You're trying to get your footing, you're trying to get your bearings. You're trying to figure, okay, don't do this again. Do more of this, do less of that kind of thing. But once you're a few years into your career, you start to wonder, is this it? Is there more to this? Am I supposed to do more? Is this where I'm going to end my career? Is there any further I can go? Am I capped in my role? These are all thoughts that you have, especially when you're in HR department of one, because there's no one else you can say, okay, well, when she retires, I'll take her position. Or when she leaves, I'll slide into that role. There's not that. You have to create your own opportunity. And knowing how to do that is valuable, but it doesn't happen just intrinsically. You have to understand how to make that happen. So when I was in your shoes, once I decided that I was tired of waiting for things to happen, once I just decided that I was going to make things happen for myself, I became inspired to do that. And it happened at different stages of my life. It was before I was married, it was while I was having kids. Every level of growth came with another level of inspiration. So if you have any questions about anything that we're talking about, drop them down below and I'll answer them in real time. If you have any questions once I get finished, if you watch a replay, drop that down below and I'll answer it as well. But I think it's important for me to share the things that I've been able to accomplish and share the things that I've been able to creating a plan for myself to be able to get to where I want to go. And it all started with me being reflective on my limits, reflected on what I know, and also understanding myself, knowing what burnout looks like, knowing what boredom feels like, and going back through my planners, not the one that I recently created, but my beta version. It's the one that I actually created years and years ago, the ones that this current one is based off of. When I go back and I look through those planners, I can literally track my career progression because I could see how my role shifted over time. I can see how my responsibilities grew. I can see how the way I accomplished my work, the way I did my work shifted with time. So that's another unspoken benefit of having plans written down, is that you can look back at them. It's your historical record of your career. You can see how far you actually come. So we're talking today about what happens when you wait and why is it so important for you to have this urgency around your career development. So think about it this way. When you wait, you're sending a signal to yourself that you're not ready. So ask yourself, do you feel ready for that next step? Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But if you feel you are ready, are you acting like you're ready? Are you in a place where you can receive direction? Are you in a place where you can receive instruction, constructive instruction, and take it for what it's worth? And then also you have to understand, are you in a place where you feel like you've gotten as far as you can go so far? So the best action takers and the most accomplished people that I know have people in their corner rooting them on. So you go further when you can go together. You go further when you have someone that can help you to avoid landmines, to do things that you can avoid mistakes and learn from other people's mistakes and experiences. So think about that. And I bring this up because I think it's important for you to trust yourself. If you know that you have a desire to do more with your career and you're not taking action, what does that tell you? It tells me that you don't trust yourself. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that you're watching videos like this because you don't trust yourself. But you've got to understand that subconsciously you're telling yourself that you're not ready when you don't take action. If you believe in yourself, you're going to take actions that show that you believe in yourself. So remember that. Also, when you wait, you make yourself further behind. So think about it this way. You might say, well, I don't have the time to invest in myself. I don't have the time to read this article. I don't have the time to watch a YouTube video because, I've got so much work to do. But remember, the job is never done. As an HR professional, specifically in the HR department of one, the job is never done. There's no number of hours that you can work that will ever outpace poor planning. Let me say that again. There's no number of hours that you can ever work that will outpace poor planning. So if you're not planning for your growth, then growth is not going to happen. And if you don't have time now, you're not going to have time in the future. I said this sentence, maybe a week ago. It was on a different topic, but I'm going to say it again here because it makes perfect sense here. It fits. Your job today is as easy as it's going to get. As easy as it's going to get. So if you can't make time today to invest in yourself, why do you think you're going to have the time in the future? So again, you have to choose to make the time. For example, like I said before, my husband and I, we have 3 kids. Our kids are, 5, 6, and 8. So we're in the end of school season. We just finished soccer season. We're getting ready for summer breaks. We might have a tennis camp. And yet I'm still growing this business here. Why? Because I'm called to do it. I have a heart to serve HR professionals in this way. And I make time for what I want. If that means I need to wake up a little bit earlier, then I'm going to start doing that. If that means I need to go to bed a little bit later, then I'm going to do that. I'm doing these live streams at 9:00 in the evening because the kids are now in the bed. And my husband has the kids as well. So I want to make sure that, again, No one has more time than anyone else. We all make space and make time in our lives for what we want to accomplish. So by saying that, my kids are small, or I'm in school, or I don't want to do this right now, what are you also telling yourself when you choose to not take action? So think about that. Also, when you wait, you're allowing yourself to be comfortable in the space. So the longer you wait, the more comfortable it's going to feel as you get set into that space. And if I'm saying anything, if I'm stepping on your toes, just say ouch in the comments. I'm not trying to be abrasive. I'm not trying to be mean. But if you know anything about me, I'm trying my best to be as honest with you as possible. I try my best to be as transparent as possible about my own mistakes, about mistakes that I've made. And I'm saying all these things from a place of I want you to avoid the mistakes that I made. I'm saying this from a place of I want you to grow from places where I once lacked. So you don't want to get comfortable in a space and be in a space too long, because it's going to be tougher to get out of it. And you're going to realize that years are going to pass you by, and you're going to wonder, how did I get here? So you want to take action when action is there to take, when it's in front of you, to be able to do that. So just like I told the person before, early in the story, where I told you that she was frustrated about where she was in her job. She thought that she couldn't do anything more. She thought that she was capable of doing more, but that she was never going to be given opportunity. She thought she was too old to do this. She had previous experiences that weren't being taken advantage of, but she also didn't want to prepare herself for the next opportunity. She had every excuse to not prepare herself. So the advice that I give to the employees on my 9 to 5 is the advice I will give to you. If you want to get better, if you want to grow to that next level, the best advice I can give you is to bloom where you are currently planted. Thrive where you are. Be successful where you are. Make sure that you don't fight for your own limitations. And when I say don't fight for your limitations, don't argue back and forth with yourself, with anybody else trying to give you advice on reasons why you can't do a thing. I said a few weeks ago, if you know you want to get to California from Georgia in under 24 hours, but you don't want to fly, you're not going to get to California in under 24 hours, because it just won't happen. You've got to drive across country. So again, if you know you have a certain goal, and you know that you want to accomplish that goal within a certain period of time, you got to do the things that's going to make space for those things to happen. So don't fight for your limitations, and don't fight for your own boundaries. And also, don't be afraid of success. I feel like sometimes we don't do things because we're afraid of what might happen if we do achieve success. And when we say it out loud, it doesn't make sense, because who doesn't want to be successful? But sometimes we wonder about what's going to happen, what comes with that success, what headaches come with that new job title, what responsibilities and expectations are tied to that new role, what hours of work or expectation of work is expected when you get that new team. So sometimes we're afraid of success, and that holds us back too. But I feel if you are called to do more, then it's within your grasp. If you feel like you can do more, it's within your grasp. You just have to take action, and you have to do it, and put yourself in a position to receive direction and coaching from a person who can help you. Whether we work together one-on-one, or whether you continue watching these videos, whatever it takes for you. So whether you are new to this channel, whether you're new to me, whether we connected before, if you have not already decided to take action, decide to take action, whatever that action might be for you. You know what you want to accomplish. You know where you want to go with your career. So decide to take action. If you're waiting to hear something specific from me, there's a certain question that you have. CW says so true. Thank you so much for the feedback there. If you know that there's something that you want to hear from me, if there's a question that you have, reach out to me. If you're on my email list, let me know. If there's a certain question that you want to hear from me, if there's a masterclass that you want to tap into, if you want to get a copy of that, let me know. If you have got nothing else from watching these videos, I want you to understand that I try my best to be as transparent as possible, as approachable as possible. I am just another person. I am not a robot. I am not a machine, just like you're not a robot and you're not a machine. I'm just a person. I'm a person who's called to serve you in this way, a person who's called to help you in this way. And my heart is just on fire with the opportunity to be able to help you in this way. So please hear my heart on this. I'm super, super I feel blessed to be able to help you in this way. So if you are interested in moving forward with being a part of this community, I'm dropping the link down below for you to get a copy of the planner if you're interested in it, or one of my free downloads. Go to talentteamsconsulting.com/thrive. It's going to help you get tuned into the community, start getting some of my emails, understand where I'm coming from, understand more about my journey as an HR department of one. I actually started my career 15 years ago as an unpaid intern. And today, in addition to running this business, I lead 3 departments. So not only HR, which is a team of 2 outside of myself, but I lead compliance, and I also lead training and development, which is separate from HR. And I say all that to say it doesn't matter what your job title is. You could be an HR assistant, you could be an HR generalist, an HR manager, whatever your role is. If you desire to lead a team one day, if you desire to do bigger and greater things, not that what you're doing right now is not big and not great, but who doesn't want to grow? Who doesn't want to get a pay bump? Who doesn't want to see increase to be able to live more comfortably with their family? So if you desire those things are within reach for you. You just have to plan around it so that you can decide to make that happen. So I want to leave you with this. Procrastination is a dangerous thing. Procrastination is a dangerous thing. So don't let yourself get too comfortable being comfortable, if that makes sense. You grow in places where you're challenged. And so that's why I like this business, even though I'm using this business to serve HR department of one professionals. If I'm completely honest, being an HR department of one was probably my valley season, if I'm completely honest. It was tough, it was grinding, it was challenging. I grew so much in that place. And I know how challenging it is to be an HR department of one, to be the only person not getting a break, and especially doing payroll at the same time. Payroll every 2 weeks, rain or shine, sick or not, pregnant or not, baby or not, payroll has to run. So there's just certain things that you have to do as an HR department of one that are not true for other HR professional roles. And that's not to say I don't serve other HR professionals, but primarily I serve solo practitioners to support you in this way. If there's a template that you need, if there are resources that you need, if it's a shoulder to lean on, I want to be that resource for you because I understand how it feels to not have anyone else there that knows what you're doing, that has been there where you are, and can help you do it. So if you need help from me in any way, if I can serve you at a higher level, any questions that you have, feel free to drop them down below. Shoot me an email. I will read every email that I get. If there's any way I can serve you in the future, please feel free to let me know. But I will talk to you on the very next video. Y'all have a great night. Bye.